Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I hope this video finds you well. Thank you for joining me today. So today's topic is 10 underrated and under the radar fragrances that actually smell amazing. And I really think that these fragrances deserve a lot more attention. I'm excited to tell you what they are, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this video and I tell you all about these 10 fragrances that are underrated and under the radar, but I actually think they smell amazing, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like top 10s, reviews, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell and give this video a thumbs up if you take something of value from today's video. I also want to mention that I recently came out with 3 brand new fragrances with the brand Navitus Parfums. The fragrances are called Away, Imperial, and Emblaze. Away is a super long-lasting citrus and coconut combination composed by Jorge Lee. It's a beautiful aquatic fragrance. Imperial is composed by Francis Kirkjohn. It has chocolate, orange, Venezuelan tonka bean. It's such a delicious gourmand. And Emblaze is composed by Lucas Suzak, who is the perfumer for Reflection for Men by Amouage. It has this Brazilian roasted coffee beans accord. It also has birch tar and pink pepper and labdanum, and it's a very exotic but also sophisticated smelling fragrance. There's currently a promotion going on over at the website. All of the information is going to be down below. Make sure to take advantage of the promotion while it's still active, and thank you all so much to everybody who has supported me in this endeavor. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right into the video. 10 underrated and under the radar fragrances that I actually think smell amazing. And the first one that I want to talk about is by the company Zara, and this is called Acteur. Now, this only has like 2 or 3 reviews online. I actually looked it up before I did this video, and I think Scentland did a video on this, Joy Amin did a video on it, and I think Daver from the Fragrance Bros did a video on this one. But this is an old school fragrance, came out in 1989, and this is a beautiful, super long lasting rose, carnation, and oak moss fragrance. There's also a little bit of musk and leather in the base too, but this one for a classic scent with rose as the dominant note. Super unique. It actually is very dense, very rich, kind of reminds me of the smell of wine. So this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, incredibly long lasting. I actually have the vintage formulation here, and this is one that I purchased on eBay. I know it can get to be a little bit expensive, but if you can find this for a good price on an auction website, I would say definitely get it, especially if you're a fan of some of the classy carnation, sophisticated oak moss, 80s and 70s types of fragrances. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. The next one that I want to talk about, I always forget the name because it's super long, but it's by the brand Tresardi. The collection is called Le Vie di Milano, and the fragrance is called Aperitivo Milanese Porta Nuova. Now, this basically smells like Infusion d'Amande by Prada. So it has this almond and iris combination. It smells so clean, like a really expensive bar of soap, but it also has enough of that really enticing almond in there that gives it such incredible personality. I love this one. I did a review of it. I'm gonna leave a card up here, but it's one of my favorites. I have been wearing this one so much. I would love to see more people review that one. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is by Emmanuel Ungaro, and it's Ungaro pour l'Homme 3. Now, this fragrance has rose and a vodka accord. So this fragrance is very fresh, it's citrusy, it's a little spicy, but it also has like this smooth, rosy, floral heart, which I think is really enjoyable. It smells very professional, very clean, very elegant. There's something woodsy about it as well. And like I said, if you're wearing it to the office, it smells very professional. And this one can also be found online, last I checked, for a really, really good price. I didn't pay that much money for this, and I got it off a discounter. And apparently they still have this fragrance online. So definitely check it out if you do find it for a reasonable price. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is Zara Icon. This fragrance is incense and cardamom with, I think, a little bit of ginger in the opening. This has the same perfumer as Frank Vocal. So Frank Vocal, or as Santal 33, excuse me, but the perfumer is Frank Vocal. So this is really dark, mysterious. It's not overly bold or daring or anything like that. Santal 33 is far more daring, but this one has that sort of charismatic quality about it that I think makes it stand out from the typical freshie on the market. And I'm really enjoying that one. Again, another fragrance that I paid next to nothing for. I mean, it was really, really inexpensive online. So the next one is kind of under the radar because this brand releases so many fragrances that it's really easy to miss some along the way. And this is Zara. Now, this one is called Zara Extreme 14.0, and this fragrance has this really spicy ginger note in the opening, but it's also fruity. There's a watermelon note in here, there's mint in here, there's also cedarwood vetiver in the base, with also a touch of pineapple and grapefruit. So it's a very complex fragrance. I get this very tart, citrusy introduction, but I also get this really nice ginger note that is not listed in the note breakdown, but when you smell it in the opening, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this actually does have that ginger spice about it. It's actually really, really good. Nice balance of floral, woodsy, fruity, sweet, and spicy. So very complex fragrance. Not what I expected from Zara, I gotta be honest with you. And also, I paid very little money for this. Zara fragrances are always dirt cheap. The next fragrance that I wanna talk about, in my opinion, is probably the best fragrance of 2021 so far. Now, the reason why this is under the radar is just people can't get their hands on it. This is an exclusive to Harrods in London. I paid a ton of money for shipping, and this one is a combination of dates, pepper, basil, amber, incense. It's an amazing fragrance. It's a flanker to the one by Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the one Luminous Night. It's always out of stock for some reason. I hope this becomes a bit more widely available because I know a lot of people who will really enjoy and would love to have this in their collection. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is one that surprised me in a very pleasant way. I wasn't too familiar with this brand, but it's called All Saints, and the fragrance is called Incense City. So this is actually a Cyprus-based fragrance, if I'm not mistaken, but I actually pick up on a Bulgari Black vibe from it. Now, Bulgari Black, which was composed by Annick Minardo, is one of my favorite leather fragrances of all time, apparently discontinued or getting discontinued, and this smells like that. So it kind of has that Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef & Arpels vibe combined with Bulgari Black. It has that leathery vibe, even though leather is not a note or a chord in this fragrance. So good. Definitely check it out. Fantastic alternative, in my opinion, to Bulgari Black. However, a little bit smoother. The next fragrance is one that reminds me of Burberry London, and this one by the company Michael Malul is called Jet Black. So this one is spicy, it has that pine in there, it has the fir, it has the cinnamon, it has those festive autumnal spices in here, but again, this one actually smells a little bit smoother. And so Burberry London is quite green, quite spicy. This one has more of a smooth overtone about it. And I can actually see myself wearing this one to work as opposed to just lounging around the house, which in the case of many of my more daring fragrances, that's kind of the environment in which I choose to wear them, just because I don't see myself wearing it around a lot of other people. I'm kind of sensitive and sympathetic to that. But in this case, very smooth, very well blended. The original Jet Black by Michael Malul is a great alternative to Burberry London and a smoother option as well, in my opinion. The fragrance in the number 2 spot, I'm so happy I purchased. Now, for some reason, it's getting hard to find online. I did mention it in another video where I think I put it in the number 1 spot, but this one by the company Lempicka, which used to be called Lolita Lempicka, is called Green Lover. So this has Madagascan vanilla in it on top of a gin accord and mint. So good. Probably in the top 2 or top 3 of best designer vanillas on the market. and it's really an amazing gourmand fragrance. And I think that the vanilla in here, in terms of its quality, is comparable to the vanilla that is found in Ani by Nishane, which is a very expensive niche fragrance composed by Cecile Zarokian. But if you're a fan of vanilla, you must find a way to add Green Lover to your collection. And the fragrance in the #1 spot, for some reason, doesn't get enough attention. I don't see it in too many lists. It does have a few reviews online, so that I will mention, and I'll give it credit for that. This fragrance is composed by Francis Kirkjohn. No, it's not by Jean Paul Gaultier. And this fragrance is a really smooth, classy, distinguished, and professional combination of violet leaf, grapefruit, and this really refined, elegant vetiver in the base. And people also mention that this is a good alternative to Green Irish Tweed. I think there are a lot of better alternatives to Creed's Green Irish Tweed, including Tren Nuit by Armaf, including Al Haramain L'aventure Night, if I'm thinking of the correct fragrance. But this fragrance is by Carvan, and it's called Carvan Porom. Amazing fragrance by Francis Kirkjohn. It's been out for such a long time now. Violet, grapefruit, really clean, refined vetiver, perfect for the office, and also a compliment getter too. If you're looking for compliments, I actually found this on Fragrance X, not sponsored, but I found this on Fragrance X for $33.99 for a 50 ml bottle. All the links are going to be down below. I was surprised that this one is still available for such a dirt cheap price. For a 50 ml, 33 bucks, 34 bucks is absolutely incredible. So here we are looking at some fragrances that are completely underrated and under the radar, in my opinion. I really believe that these fragrances deserve more attention, and I think that they should get a lot more praise than they've received in the past. Certainly they are overshadowed by competitors like Versace Eros and Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. But I think that there's something really special in all of these fragrances. For as long as you can get your hands on them, I think they're worth owning. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time and attention. It means a lot. I hope you took something of value from this video. If you did, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Remember to enable all notifications by clicking on the bell. Give this video a thumbs up as well. It would really mean a lot to me. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.